But like I said, I do have an outline, but it's a bunch of just randomness.
Okay.
Because this business is so interesting because you can coach in so many different ways, and everybody's at a different level of like where they want to start. You know, some people want to be a challenger first, but they still want the discount. So they're kind of like dipping their toes in the water to coaching. And then sometimes other people are just like, I want to take this and like run with it, like you are, Julie. So some of it's just you kind of just learn as you go, and you rely on your upline to help you out when,
Right.
you know, like you call the SOS flag, like, I'm in over my head. I don't know what to do. Help me. So the first things that you should really do, which Julie, I know you've done, is, you know, go into the Coach Online office and just start exploring.
Yep.
Like you can't hurt anything in there. Getting your website set up and just really kind of getting familiar with that. There should be the first 30 trainings.
Yep. Those
You
are
found
done.
those pretty easy under the trainings
Yep.
tabs, right? Awesome.
Yep.
So then I added you to Fearless, Team Fearless,
Yep.
which is my upline, Laura. That's our kind of community page. And then our upline from that, Mindy, our big coach, is the Team Go Getters accountability group. So that's going to have
Okay.
a lot more value in it because there are, I think, 7,000 people in that, where there's like 30 some in Laura and I's group.
Okay. So Fearless is the upline, and
Yep.
then Go Getters is
The big upline.
okay.
So that's where you're going to get a lot more value.
I'm just writing it
But
down.
it's big, whereas like, you know, our community is smaller and we can get you resources and help and stuff. But people share a lot in Team Go Getters. Mindy shares a lot of things. Another good one is the TBB 411.
Yep, I've been on there looking around.
That one is a wealth of knowledge as well. And then Team Fearless Leaders Level 1 training, and then the 10-day new coach training. And I know the 10-day new coach training is kind of weird. It was like the one Mindy recently did, but then I think she did a Dash to Emerald group on top of it. So it's kind of all over the place and scattered.
And that's the one I already did everything minus, there was a couple of videos which you're reminding me because I forgot. I was going to go back
and get those.
Watch because I was doing it in bed and Blaine was sleeping. I didn't have my earphones. So
It's really my life. I get it.
But otherwise, I already went through that one from bottom to top too already.
Awesome. And then Mondays at 11 a.m. they do the National Wake Up Call.
I got that too.
You can listen to it live. I just use the podcast and I just plan usually Monday night or Tuesday. Now that I'm taking Axe to daycare, I just do it that next morning, usually on my drive there.
How long is it?
It's usually 30 to 45 minutes. It's usually not too long because they know that they just want to they do a lot of recognition in the beginning, and then they always have, any major announcements.
Right.
And then they have a guest speaker. So I always like it for the guest speaker because they always have top coaches that just give all their secrets.
Okay. I put that on my calendar. I probably won't be listening to it live either because of my work schedule, but
yeah, I feel like not many people listen to it live because they give so many options. They also play it live in the Team Beachbody 411. So if you actually wanted to watch it, that's new. They just started that this year.
Okay.
And then, they have a team call in Team Go Getters on Tuesday at 11. And I do the same thing. It's recorded and I just watch it when I can throughout the week. I don't 11 a.m. is not a good time for me through the week.
So, and you're saying Eastern time?
Yes, I believe it's Eastern time.
And that one's on their Facebook?
On their Facebook page. Yep.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're totally fine.
I had my alarm set because I was snoozing on the chair.
I know it's late for you.
I was taking a nap.
And then you should have found in the first 30 training your business quick start guide, your coach action plan, memory jogger, contact list.
Yep.
Are those sounding familiar?
Yep.
Okay. And I have copies of them too if you can't find it or anything like that, I can always send you guys copies.
Nope, I found them. I didn't print the one off because I already have, I know I can get back to the information in the business office, so I didn't see the point in printing it off with the,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just kind of going back through stuff like when I started coaching and it wasn't even 2 years and I'm like, oh my gosh, so much has changed in this
I'm
business.
sure.
So one of the things when I first started coaching was I dug really deep into personal development because I was that coach that started as a coach and a challenger at the same exact time. And was like, I want to work this business, but I don't know how. And I'm working like all these crazy hours. So I just kind of threw myself into it. And I did a lot of personal development just to get that thick skin and really feel confident in myself and tap into, why I was really on my journey. So I'm going to share podcasts and personal development books that helped me, because we do a lot of that for our challengers. So even if it's not something that speaks to you, it might be something that totally will speak to someone else.
Right.
So I'm just going to share like my fan favorites, but one book that I highly suggest, I was in one of Mindy's courses last month, and we were supposed to read this book in the 10-day course, but mom life, I'm on page 91 and it was last month. But it's called Get Over Your Damn Self by Romy something.
Oh yeah, you showed me that. I think.
This book is awesome because it's like about network marketing. So it really is answering questions for me and like making me feel more comfortable about like how the network marketing thing kind of works, giving me just different ways to go about like the customer experience.
Right.
So I'm only on page 91, but I have highlighted so much stuff in this book already. I'm like, I almost want to like read it again as soon as I'm done reading it. So I would highly recommend, if you're going to do any book right away, to do that book, honestly, because I've taken so much value out of it.
Okay.
And then also, I'm going to share with you guys a bunch of apps that are helpful in the business. Julie, I shared BB Links with you today.
Yep, I already have it on my phone.
That, Mandy, is how you can send links to challenge packs or like anything Beachbody offers that attaches your coach ID to it. So when you're talking to someone and you want to show them kind of everything that's involved in it, or just kind of send them the link so they can just click on it and buy it right from there. It's super quick and simple, and it actually has helped me a lot. It's good for like training purposes. You're like, I don't know what actually does come in that challenge pack, or can you just buy the loops for 80-day obsession by themselves? Like, so it helps with those little accessory questions. And then share a cart is so easy through teambeachbody.com. You just click on the share a cart link and you just need their email address and like their first and last name, and if they want to be a coach or if they want to be a customer, and it sends them the link to sign up, like super easy. Just the same, you kind of pick out you kind of shop for them and just send them the cart that way.
Oh, okay.
So the first time I ever did it was a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy.
Yeah, because like today when I was talking to the gal on Facebook, I ended up going into my Beachbody coach URL.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I clicked on shop. And then I went to the Fixate cookbook and containers to get the URL to give her, so that it had my number attached to it, because I didn't know how else to do it.
Yep. So share a cart and BB Links both. And you can play around with it, and you can just create a link and like send it to me or something, even if you want, and be like, hey, did this work right?
Okay. Yeah, because I put the BB Links on my phone already, and then I went in there, I figured out how to add my ID to it.
Perfect.
I guess that's all you have to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so easy. Another helpful one is the Challenge Tracker app, which Julie, you still probably have.
Yep, I have it.
Challenge groups on there. I kind of got away from the Challenge Tracker app just because I just running everything through Facebook made my life easier. because I only had to go to one place when I set all
Right.
my challenge groups up. And it just, I mean, I kind of miss some things about it because it keeps it in sequential order. I'm like, I wish I could run my book club through that challenge.
See if anybody
I
notices.
probably technically
Go for it.
I probably technically could. But that's a good one to have. 21 Day Fix has an app. So if
Yeah, I
you
have that.
someone doing the 21 Day Fix,
Yep.
and you can count your containers right there.
I have that. I found that on my phone today. I don't even know when I downloaded that, but I've had it on my phone for a long time apparently.
Yeah, that's a great app. And then different like apps to write on pictures. I'm
Right.
gonna send you a couple of those. I use WordSwag like all the time. That's the one that I think is the easiest to use. It's super user friendly. I have a few others, and I honestly don't have time to figure them out.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them on my phone too.
Yeah. And then there's just a couple of like personal development type apps and stuff too. So I'm just kind of sharing anything that is of value to me that I use a lot. And then I'm sure you'll have questions on like what some of them are, but this is all just stuff that like, you know, it all kind of comes together, but then you're like, wait, how do they put words on their picture? And, but kind of going back to really understanding network marketing, there is definitely no one way to run this business. And what I do that works for me is going to be different for you, Julie, is going to be different for you, Mandy. And I really like to say Beachbody is just our vessel. You know, it's the tools that we use, but the unique experience and the unique piece of this business is what we bring to it. As with any sales job, it can be overwhelming, but it's also very exhilarating. So that's where the personal development really comes in, where you have to get very comfortable with rejection and know that rejection, they're not rejecting you as a person. People as human beings, their first inclination is like to tell you no if they know you're trying to sell them something. They don't even need to know what you're selling. They just don't want to buy it. They're not buying. They're not interested. They're just looking. Like they don't want to say yes. So our job as coaches is really to be that authentic self, to really be a friend. And we know that our products work. And we know what our products personally have done for us. But it's hard to show that, you know, it's not a material item that you're selling essentially.
Right.
Yes, Beachbody On Demand and like the shaker cup and all of its material, but it's really that life. Like
Right.
I always say, you know, like Beachbody like saved my life, and it did it twice. It did it back when I was in college when I first bought Slim and Six, and I didn't know about Shakeology. I'm not even sure in 2002 if Shakeology was even a thing, but they didn't have Team Beachbody yet, so they didn't have coaches. They did have like an online forum, but you had to like show up to it, and like no one was like saying hey, like I haven't seen you in our challenge groups in a while, what's going on, are you okay? But then it saved my life again when I was through my postpartum journey at 6 months, and I just absolutely hated everything about my life. And like when, you know, I told my coach no for like years, and it wasn't because I was telling her no because of the products. It was like Shakeology. I was so like, I don't want your shake. I don't want anything to do with your shake. But I blame my coach also for not really like showing me what Shakeology was and what it could do for me. And she did eventually give me a sample. And I tried it, and it was the whey, and I don't do well with whey. And I was in the bathroom for like 24 hours. She's like, that's normal. I'm like, nope. This is So she's really lucky that I was like, hey, there's a vegan option, right? That doesn't have whey in it. Can I try that one? But with that being said, we're not going to know everything. We're not going to have all of the answers. This business is ever changing. Social media, which is where we're going to mostly be marketing ourselves, is ever changing. Facebook loves to just change their algorithms to change their algorithms.
Yep.
And so some of the things we use with curiosity marketing is to really keep Facebook from messing with our stuff. It's not that we're hiding anything. It's not that we're ashamed to be part of Beachbody. But once your page starts to look salesy and you start using those like product names and company names, Facebook puts a nix on who sees your posts. So you want to be very specific without saying actual company names, without saying like Shakeology, that kind of thing. So they've kind of freed it up in the stories. So if you've noticed, I've actually, like, before I used to just say like my superfood shake. Now I'm actually like showing the bag. But I also don't want to give people the tools to Google, because you can find anything good or bad about a company if you Google. You know, I mean, if you dig far enough, any company, you're going to find like positive reviews, negative reviews. So you really want your customers to learn about the business from you, not someone who has a bad taste in their mouth. So if I'm always like, drink my Shakeology, drink my Shakeology, drink my Shakeology, and someone's like, what is this Shakeology? And they start digging for like why they shouldn't drink it, they're going to find somebody that's going to hate it. I mean, people hate on anything, right? So curiosity marketing is like giving them just enough to be like, hey, what actually are you doing? Like, how are you getting those results? And then that opens the backdoor conversation. So most of the time, all of my conversations happen through Facebook Messenger, text message, telephone calls. The call to action posts are really just to get people like thinking, but it's very rare that you do a call to action post saying like, hey, like, look at my results. My next challenge group is starting on March 7th. Like, put an emoji below if you're interested. People won't do that. They're scared. They don't want to be sold to. But when you go behind the scenes and just be a friend and start talking to them, they tell you their pain points. They tell you why they need this business in their life. You know, I mean, the coaching opportunity for a lot of people, like, I mean, I don't gladly like want to spend $130 on Shakeology every month, but I know what it does for me. And I'm thankful that the coaching opportunity first started me with a discount and now affords me the opportunity that I don't have to worry about paying for my shake every month.
Right.
So that's a great opportunity. You know, when somebody gives me the money thing, I'm like, I actually have a business where you can make money. Like, you can work on you and do your journey and help others and pay it forward. So the coaching opportunity is a great way to segue into the conversation when you get the money objection. And what we can have plenty of calls on, like, you know, how to prospect and what to say and how to add to your network. We have plenty of calls for this. This is just kind of a general overview of the business that we're talking about tonight. But you'll hear, I'm sure you heard on those videos, Julie, about the 4 vital behaviors. And Beachbody 100% wants you to work on yourself first. So they say you shouldn't work on your business at all until you did like your personal development, you drank your shake, and you did your workout. Because they want to make sure that you're showing up for yourself and your journey first. They want to make sure you're okay and you got it. So those are the 3 non-negotiables in this business, that you work on yourself internally, externally, and nutritionally. And then invite. You're trying to build a business. And so you want to constantly have a stream of people coming in and out, in and out, in and out. Because unfortunately we're in the business of numbers. So it would be awesome if every single person I talk to signed up. It would be even more awesome if everybody that told me like, yes, I'm going to do it, I'm so excited, signed up. I've learned now, like, it's not a yes until I see it in my Coach Online office. But also with your journey, you want to make sure that you're proof that the products work, because, you know, if you're selling a positive mindset, but you're always negative on your Facebook page, like, people aren't gonna believe what you say. If you're not showing that you're on your journey, and I'm not saying, you know, you have these transformation photos or like, look, I just lost 100 pounds with this, but you show that you're like working on yourself and that you can show progress through, you know, if you have transformation pictures, awesome, but non-scale victories. I mean, Julie, you can fit into pants that are smaller. How cool is
Yay.
that? Or you can't like, or that, you know, you're not obsessed with the scale anymore, that you know, you can just judge the way your clothes fit versus like stepping on the scale every day to see if you've lost any weight, and that just messes with your head. Or like your mindset. I mean, I know my mindset is night and day different than 2 years ago when I first started this business. I mean, I'm a completely different person. And I know, Mandy, a lot of times you talk about my confidence. I built that, girl. It was like a muscle. And I struggle still. You know, there are days where, you know, like you get down on yourself and the struggle be real, but that's why you do your daily personal development. I know if I don't do it in the morning, that I'm setting myself up for failure the rest of the day. And then the last vital behavior is recognize. So you always want to recognize, you know, the people in your life that are, you know, if you have a team of coaches, that you're recognizing them for their hard work. If you have challengers, that you're recognizing them for their hard work, you know, that you're showing up to your challenge groups and rooting them on. And then, you know, with yourself and your challengers, you really want to find your why. And, you know, network marketing, you have to really invest a lot of your time and your heart and soul and tears. So, you know, you want to know why you're doing it, and everybody's why will evolve a lot over the course of their coaching journey. And when I first started, people kept saying, you need to find a why that would bring you to tears. And like, I felt like my why just had to be that I needed to be present for my son, that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and like be a part of my son's life. But I never felt super connected to that because I wanted to be a working mom. Like, I like working outside the home. I like that I can breathe for a couple of seconds, even though, you know, I still have a job where people always need something from me. It's just different. You know, I feel like I can be a better parent when I'm not stressed out because I'm at home with the child all day long. But to each their own there. You know, there are people that couldn't even imagine working outside the home. So I kept trying that to say that was my why. But as I started to go through this business and really work on myself, I realized my why 100% was like, I don't want my son to live the life that I lived. My mom was highly obese. She couldn't do things that I wanted her to do. I felt embarrassed of her. We didn't have money. We were poor. Like, I always felt like I was trying to live this fake life to pretend like I wasn't something that I really was. And then when my mom passed away, like, obesity played a huge role in why she passed away. So when I really started to think about my why, I'm like, okay, I found it. I hit a pain point there. That's why I want this business. That's why I want to show up. It's not to be $1 million earner like that. No, I just want my son to like not be scared he doesn't have money for lunch, you know?
Right.
So trainings, there's always information coming out at you. Corporate's always giving trainings. All the different coaches are giving trainings. You know, you'll get trainings from me, trainings from your upline. One thing I stress is don't be just a collector of information. Don't have a bunch of notebooks of inspiration that you don't do anything with. The best thing you can do for yourself when you learn something new is to go out and apply it. And you want to make sure that the things that you're doing are actually business building behaviors because, you know, I mean, when you're first starting the business, you want to make sure that you're like learning a little bit. But as you start to learn more and more, you should be actually working on business building behaviors and training less and less. So it will flip a switch soon, if that makes sense. But I know, like, for me, I have notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks of, like, all really great ideas. But I would find that, like, it was more fun to be on a training than invite somebody to a challenge group because they might tell me no. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um, Also important dates. So Summit is Beachbody's big yearly conference. Last year was in New Orleans. This year is in Indianapolis, which is super cool. It's like 2 hours from Mandy, so she could even practically commute back and forth. But that is where it's just 3 to 5 days, depending on like what your schedule looks like and what they schedule, where it's just a bunch of personal development, business development. You're with all of your closest peers. So that is a really fun time. And I know it's a lot to swing because, you might have to take vacation. I had to take all my personal days to go to New Orleans. It does cost to go because last year, Brendan Burchard was the guest speaker, and he's Oprah's personal development guru.
Right.
So I'm sure he cost some money. But we can definitely talk about Summit, but that's just one big thing that you'll hear a lot. Super Saturday is our quarterly big meetings. Where Julie, we've had a few in the UP. Last Super Saturday in January, Laura just had myself, and Katie was in from San Diego. So we just went to Laura's and watched the training videos and stuff. But some of the bigger cities host like a huge Super Saturday where the super trainers come, or they have like someone doing personal development, and they actually like you have to get tickets to. And so that's kind of cool. I know Katie went to one where Autumn Calabrese was at, I think September, October, November, sometime in the fall. Katie went to that one, which was kind of cool. But us in the UP most likely will probably either just like do our own thing or not go to Super Saturday, because I'm not going to Chicago. But they always talk about new product launches during Super Saturday. And it's just kind of a fun thing because you see Carl Deichler, the CEO, and all of the higher ups kind of talk, and they're just super motivating in general. Julie, I already kind of talked to you about this, but business-wise, you are running your own business, so you would receive a 1099 for any commission. Mm-hmm. So Mandy, anything above $600 that you made, Beachbody's going to send you that 1099 in the mail. And they don't take any taxes out of it because you're an independent contractor, essentially. So I always just recommend that you get a separate checking account to keep your business completely separate from your personal finances, and that you save 30% of that. So I would do a checking and savings account together and just immediately do the 30%. So you don't have any crazy business expense surprises, and you don't owe the government a bunch of money in tax time. Nobody wants that. With the business though, so if you want to stay on as an active coach, you do have that $15.95 a month coach fee that's due. If for some reason you have your Shakeology on hold, you have to at least spend 50 PV, and PV just means personal volume. Most of the time, personal volume and dollars are the same thing. Not all the time, but usually it's pretty dollar for dollar. So you have to make sure you at least have those 50 personal volume points. So you wouldn't receive commission if you weren't active. So you want to make sure you're active because you don't want to give away any money. I know in the beginning, sometimes with finances, that's kind of a struggle. So talk to me. We'll work through anything that we can. I don't have any tips or tricks for it or anything. I just personally love my Shakeology and I make it a priority. So I just don't even think about ever taking my account out of active status. But I do for Andy's account all the time. So I can at least help you with how to delay your Shakeology and that kind of thing. So maybe you might just need to delay your Shakeology a week. But you're still active during the month, so you're still going to get your commission that way. So don't want to freak anybody out or about that or anything, but you do have to have that active status. And I want to do at some point a call about goals and business goals and kind of like, okay, so I signed up as a coach, I did all this training, and now what do I do? because I know we're going to get cut off here pretty soon because it's 8:33. Actually, Julie, you know what? Since it's just you and I, we might not get cut off. Because I had that happen to Katie and I one time where it was just her and I, and I'm like, it's not cutting us off, so let's just keep talking. Success Club, you'll hear the Success Club term. So it's just a level of measurement for Beachbody. So in order to receive Success Club points, you have to sell a challenge pack. And challenge packs have products that are home direct on them. So Shakeology home direct, the Performance line home direct, or the Kids Shake Daily Sunshine home direct. So for each challenge pack, you receive 2 Success Club points. And if someone just wanted to purchase, say, Shakeology on home direct, but not have any of the workouts, why they would do that. Julie had a situation today where the girl couldn't work out, but I mean, nutrition's still a big factor. So she could just be on Shakeology home direct without ever have purchased any of the, workouts. Or if you have somebody elderly who doesn't want to work out, but there's all the great benefits of Shakeology, that would be a way as well. Or you have somebody that they already have on demand, but their husband drinks Shakeology too. So they might have a second order of Shakeology home direct. So when you first get that sale, you get Success Club points. You get commission as well, which is awesome. But you want to shoot for Success Club 5, and it's essentially helping 3 people. So if they bought challenge packs, you'd be actually Success Club 6. If you helped 2 people get a challenge pack and 1 person get on a home direct product, that would be the 1 point to get you to Success Club 5. Getting to Success Club 5, you get free leads from Beachbody. So that would be like if somebody just went to teambeachbody.com and signed up for like on demand, but they didn't associate a coach to it or anything, or they bought Pio off of infomercial, but they didn't have a coach. They just saw it at 3:00 in the morning when they were up with insomnia and purchased it. So I just got one a couple days ago that just kind of randomly shows up like an order in my office, and I'm like, who is this girl? And then I was like, she has an on-demand free trial. So I reach out to her with email. She's ignored my email, but that's okay. I'll reach out to her a couple of times and just offer her, hey, I'm your free coach, and this is all the things that I can do for you. Where are you at in your health journey? What are you looking to achieve? That kind of thing. So it's nice to just get those free leads that you don't have to work for. You also always get a gift. So sometimes they're material gifts like t-shirts. I did not hit Success Club in December because it was just a crazy month and I didn't do the work. So they all got really cool 80-day obsession core comfort mats. So they're like the blue mats that they use during the workouts, but they're black and they say 80-day obsession, and t-shirts or tank tops. So I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get the gift, but it happens. It's my own fault. And sometimes they're like personal development. So the Success Club group or Success Club gift for this month is a 1-hour webinar with somebody who wrote a book. I don't know who. I've never heard of the book. So, but I did one with Hal Elrod, who wrote The Miracle Morning. That was really, really cool because he shared a lot of stuff that wasn't in the book. One a couple of months ago was with Mel Robbins, who did the 5-second rule. And I did not get Success Club that month either. And I heard that was a good webinar too. So it's just kind of cool. You get different things. If you hit Success Club 5, your first 3 months, you get a free ticket to Summit. So Summit tickets are on sale right now, I think for $145 or $155. So that's pretty cool just to get it for free. And it's also just kind of a standard that they measure you on. So if you hit Success Club for an entire year, you get to have like a special recognition for that too. So that's a fun thing. You also qualify for different trips with Success Club, different parties at Summit. And then business rankings. So I can share what the next rank is. So right now, everyone starts out as a coach. If you get 2 coaches under you, and they have a right leg and a left leg in Beachbody,
Right.
a coach on the right leg and a coach on your left leg, you're an Emerald coach. So that's kind of the first business standard that they kind of measure you on. Because if you really want to build a successful business and help a lot of people, then it makes sense to build a team. A lot of people don't care about that. Like, I was just a hobby coach. So like building a big team, to me, I was just like, I didn't work my business super hard. I would help people that I knew like needed help, but I wasn't focused on a big goal. If it came, it came. I wasn't going to like stay up till midnight like I did this this past week, because I was like, oh no, I made a goal and I'm going to do it. But where am I going with this? Oh, okay. So once you get Emerald, your next step is Diamond. So with Diamond, you would have 8 coaches, and 2 of your coaches would be Emerald coaches. So one on your right leg would be an Emerald coach, so they'd have 2 coaches under them, and one on your left leg would be an Emerald coach, and they'd have 200. They would have 2 coaches under them, just 2, not 200. So that's where I'm pushing for. I really wanted to hit that by May 30th. So that's a pretty big goal for me. I have a couple more coaches to add to get to that rank. But I'm in a push group for that. So extra training, yay. But I'm going to promise myself I'm not going to do all the trainings and none of the work, because I've done that before. Been the collector of information and the notebook of inspiration. Power hours. Julie, did they talk some about power hours in those trainings?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
I know, I feel bad. I was like, I'm going to watch all these trainings and like make sure I'm up to date with like what are in the trainings. And I didn't.
That's what I think. I've just watched too many because I've got all kinds of things floating around in my head.
Exactly. Sometimes you just need to process and be like, wait, what? Like, I learned all this stuff. What do I really need to do? So what you really need to do is a power hour. So your power hour is your business building.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
So I have a couple tracking sheets that I used when I first started. And I kind of liked a little of each of them. I was like, I need to just design my own and sell them. But the business changes so much that all I would be doing is like making new tracking sheets. So I now literally use a piece of paper. I have a notebook that's my business building notebook, and that's what I use, but I use a very strategic formula on my notebook. So I will share both of those probably sometime this week, but tonight I will actually send you those 2 trackers and the kind of format that I use for that. So
okay. I think they're in that Facebook training thing too, if I recall. The which one was it? The 10-day new coach training. I think they're in there.
Yep, I think there are. So you want to do everything you can within this hour. Most people that are working this have another job. They're moms. They have a busy life. So committing to at least an hour a day is plenty of time to have success and to hit Success Club 5. If you want to build a really big business and have really big goals, then you're going to do these same behaviors. You're just going to do them for longer periods of time. So you might do the power hour 3 or 4 times during your day. So the first thing you want to do is be yourself. Don't be fake. Don't be weird. You're a real person, and like your whole goal is not to like make a ton of money. Your why is bigger than making a ton of money, and people aren't just like price tags or like products, or I don't know. What am I thinking? it's late. But you really want to keep adding to your network, and you don't want to just add people to your network to add people to your network. So I kind of identify who I like working with. And one thing I like working with is middle-aged women. Sorry, Julie, I didn't mean to call you middle-aged. But people that have done a lot of trial error in their life and like are just frustrated. So I like working with them because they're mentally mature enough and like they're not like that stressed out, overwhelmed mom that's like, oh my gosh, like there's so much on my plate, I can't even begin to work on myself, let alone, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like getting
Right.
dinner on the table is like my accomplishment of the day. Like I identify with those people and I would love to help them, but they're not like who I really target because it's really frustrating for me. So I like to target them with my free groups, and where I add value because I really do want to help them. But I don't want to work with someone who doesn't want to show up for themselves, if that makes sense.
Right.
I'm like, I'm over the excuse bus, so I don't want to work through like that again. I just went and did that. So that's where I like my free groups, where I add value and I really do help them. And some do come and some don't. And I hope that, the value I added made their day better, made their lives easier, made them be able to be more present with their children. But that's not really who I like to help. And I finally figured out also the reason that I like middle-aged women is because like I miss my mom.
Oh.
I mean, it took me a long time, but I'm like, that is why. Like, I identify with like, I had a great relationship with my mom, and she was my friend, and like, I missed that. So that's one of the reasons why. I don't know. And they're also drawn to me too. So a lot of times it's like the universe just puts people in my path, and I love that. So the next thing is you would do birthday wishes because I feel everybody's birthday is super important. And it's one of my favorite things in my life is my own birthday. So I send birthday messages to everyone. You should spend a few minutes starting up new conversations with people. So that might be people that you've added to your network. I don't want to just add someone to my network and then never say hi to them. So I want them to know I'm a real person and like that I'm not creepy. So I usually just say like, hey, thanks for connecting. I love to have a community of positivity on my Facebook page. It looks like we have a lot of mutual friends. I don't know how I've never met you before, or, I just kind of strike up a conversation in that way. And if I send a friend invite and they don't accept, like, I don't care. I didn't know them anyways. So I will show you guys how to delete any friend requests after 48 hours if they haven't accepted. Because if they haven't accepted after 48 hours, they're not going to accept. And you don't want Facebook to think that you are just trying to be spammy. So you don't want a whole bunch of outgoing friend requests not accepted hanging out there. Then you'll do follow-up. So anybody that you just have hanging out in your inbox that you need to respond back to, and a lot of times you're just in different stages of conversation with them, but you want to make sure that you're not leaving people for 2 or 3 days and not responding to their messages. And then you will send out new invites, which is the scary part, which is the part that everybody freezes at, myself included. I always like to say an invite really did change my life, or like 25 invites changed my life. Eventually I did say yes. But I'm not just inviting people to my paid challenge group. I like to host at least one free group a month, where I just 100% add value to people's lives. And then that's where I can kind of see if I want to work with those people too. Because that's the cool thing about owning your own business is you don't have to work with everyone. In retail, I used to not get to pick and choose my customers. Then you'll be checking in with your challenge group. So making sure your challengers are doing okay and everyone's showing up. And if they're not, that you're messaging them behind the scenes, just literally making sure they're okay. And then you'll spend a few minutes adding value and engaging on people's posts. So that's where you're just kind of mindlessly scrolling Facebook for a little bit. Or I kind of go out and seek people that I haven't talked to in a while and just Facebook creep their page and see what they're up to. And it also will give me a list of new conversations I might want to start for tomorrow. So sometimes I'm working, my today's list, but also with my tomorrow goals in mind. And then you want to make sure that you're checking in with your Coach Online office, checking on your orders, making sure people's orders went through appropriately, checking to see if someone's Shakeology might be about to go inactive, or a coach might go inactive if you have built a team. So you're really just kind of taking the temperature on your business there and making sure everything in there looks good. And then you're going to plan your next power hour after that, plan kind of for setting yourself up for success the next day. There are a couple really good videos where people literally do live power hours. So they kind of walk you through what they're doing at the same time. There are many ways to track. There's all kinds of different tracking sheets. There is a company called Teamzy that is kind of all online based, but it does have a $30 fee a month. I have used it, and I have not used it, and I just prefer not to give someone $30 a month for what I can do on piece of paper. They send you text reminders and stuff, but I just feel like I've now just kind of gotten my piece of paper system down that, I already know when I'm going to follow up with people, and I just have to go back that many pages in my notebook that I've tracked everything. So I just like pen and paper because I feel like I was still doing it in pen and paper, and then I was frustrating myself because I was going back to Teamzy. But some people really like just having everything online. I carry a big old chunky planner with me all of the time, and some people just have their planner in their iPhone. So it's kind of, whatever works for you. But I like to tell people, don't invest a whole bunch of money into this business if you're not making money. You don't want to go broke trying to track your business. So, do anything and everything that you can for free. Do it the free way. And I think the rest of this is really just kind of going to different topics that I want to talk about, over the next month or so. But it really is just a business of consistency and showing up for yourself first, and, just keep doing it, and, the snowball effect happens. I like to tell people it's a good 3 months of showing up consistently. So Julie, you've been doing that pretty well on your Facebook already, showing people that you're doing this 80-day program, so you're kind of, you've got your 3 months in. So, you're finding it easier probably than Mandy will to start some conversations because people have already been kind of watching you and wondering what you're doing. So when you do reach out to them hey, thanks for the love on my post today, they're easier to start up a conversation versus wait, what are you doing? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Sorry, I know you're probably taking notes and I'm rambling a mile a minute. Any questions you have before we call it quits for tonight? Because I know I threw a lot at you.
I don't really. I'm just still processing stuff and trying to, work things out in my head.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I'll bother you when I have questions because I have already.
Yeah, I love you already have challenge group ideas in your head. So what I'm doing,
yeah, I have to go. Sorry, my son was.
Oh, you're totally fine. Because I need accountability just as anybody else does, because I am definitely an imperfect human. So my plans for this month are, I always have our ongoing paid challenge group. I am going to do a free week with clean eating for kids on my really, really old group clean week page that I did a long time ago, in August of last year. I'm just kind of going to reinvent that group this year, and I'm going to host a free group in that once a month with just random different topics. So that free group is on the 11th, I believe. I'm not looking at the calendar, but I'm pretty sure it's the 11th. It's a Monday. So in that, I'm going to do like 12th. Okay. Yep. Awesome. Sunday must be the 11th. So in that group, I'm going to do kid-friendly recipes that are clean, that aren't just like, I mean, are you going to get a kid to eat a green vegetable that's not disguised? Probably not. But just fun recipes. I mean, like, you can get Blaze to eat kale soup, right?
Oh, he loves kale. He loves kale. Yeah. I was asking for it today, Kylie said.
That's awesome. So I have a few resources. I don't have the group done. It's just a vision in my head right now. I have kind of a rough outline. So I'm just going to talk about the importance of, like, you know, why we should teach kids about nutrition now, and that, you know, I don't believe in restricting children, like telling them they can't go to the birthday party at McDonald's and have a Happy Meal. You know, not telling them they can't go trick-or-treating because candy's bad and rots their teeth. You know, I mean, I'm struggling. My son only eats fruit practically. That's all he's ate today. And like, maybe he took a bite of chicken. But so that is like the first day of really just kind of, you know, like why we should teach healthy habits. And then a lot of like those recipes, you know, that are like trying to tweak them kid friendly. And then kind of eat this, not that kind of thing with like prepackaged foods. Cause, you know, I mean, kids are always like snacking on the go and stuff. So, you know, like different like fruit snacks or cookies or that kind of thing. So kind of like, you know, I mean, you're not going to get kids to not eat packaged food. So just kind of realistic there. So if you're going to do it, try this one, not that one. And then some mindset work with just how to talk to our kids in a positive way so that they feel good about themselves. Some kind of positive parenting tips, no judgments, like parenting's hard. If I could only be the parent that I said I would be when I didn't have kids, I could only be half of her, I would be awesome. But you know, a lot of issues that come out in adulthood really happened in childhood. So, you know, just kind of a different way to think about like, hey, you know, like sometimes we're kind of jerks to our kids because we're busy and frustrated, and I definitely tell my kid to hurry up, and I'm like, oh, it's like, he doesn't need to hurry up. I need to be more on time. I needed to know he was going to take 30 minutes to put his shoes on or whatever. Not that he puts his own shoes on, but, and then some, just talk about like some self-care for mama too, you know, and how self-care really is more than just spa day and MAP and face masks and stuff like that. So that's kind of my free idea group. And like I said, I don't have all the details done on that, but I am doing it. And then I'm doing clean week, prep week that week. So if you have anybody that wants to get a challenge pack or wants just clean week, because I think that it's really great for any challenger to just go through that first introductory week. So I'm doing that. And then I don't know what I'm doing for April yet, but that's my March plan. So you guys are more than welcome to invite to any of my groups, because I don't expect you to reinvent the wheel or come up with something when you're already trying to learn, do your trainings, learn about the business, get comfortable talking to people about the business, get comfortable like sending out invites, that so you don't feel like you're just like, okay, this person thinks I'm going to sell them something. So that's one of the reasons I really like free groups, is they get to know you. They get the know, like, and trust factor from you. So they already know that they like you, that they trust you, that they find value in what you have to say. So I really like having that before I offer anything, you know. Have I just like sent out a random invite? Absolutely. But I really like to like let them know I do care for them as a person, and I don't want to be this crazy $1 million coach with like all of this responsibility. I want to personally know the people I help. So that's kind of my the reason I coach and stuff. But like I told you earlier, my Mac is going to die, and it just sent me a warning. So with that, I think it's telling us that it's time to go to bed.
Okay. I won't fight you on that one.
No worries. Thank you, Julie, for hopping on. Mandy, watch the replay and let me know if you have any questions, and you and I will touch base sometime this week. And then go, Julie, yes, any questions, send them my way. But
Okay.
Thank you so much for hopping on. I truly appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
I hope I didn't overwhelm you.
No, you didn't. All
awesome.
right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.